So it looks like the Chicago Bears are eyeing their next franchise quarterback, and no, he is not in this year's NFL draft. What's going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking to you guys about the latest NFL rumor that has Jimmy Garoppolo gaining major interest from the Chicago Bears. It's being reported by various outlets, notably CBS, which is saying that the Bears' top offseason priority is to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo. So if you guys remember, Jimmy Garoppolo had his breakout games. I don't want to call it a year because he only played 2 games, but in those 2 games that he played before he got hurt, 2.5 really, he was very impressive. Made all the right throws, right reads, and it really looked like he was a quarterback who has been in a system for a couple of years now and has really learned the proper tutelage and learned from the best, in the NFL under Coach Belichick and his staff, and also from one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in Tom Brady. And it showed in those games. He would have obviously started all 4 of those games if he did not get hurt. But 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, a little bit over 500 yards. So very impressive for Jimmy Garoppolo, and a lot of teams took notice of that. Now getting back to the Chicago Bears. So a little side note here, Jimmy Garoppolo is from Eastern Illinois, so he is from Chicago. He has got that hometown connection, and he had a great year in his last year at Eastern Illinois, threw 53 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, but of course, small school, so not a lot of people saw that. The Bears GM, Ryan Pace, was also from Eastern Illinois, so they had a little talk, and I guess Ryan Pace is a big fan of Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's why the Bears are looking to find ways to acquire him. Now, everybody knows the Bears have the 3rd pick in this year's NFL draft, and, they could reach for a guy like a Deshaun Watson, a Deshaun Kaiser, a Mitch Trubisky, but none of those guys are projected to be a top 5 pick. A lot of analysts and a lot of mock draft analysts are saying those guys are not worth a top 5 pick, and it would sort of be a reach for the Bears to take a quarterback at 3. So what's the next best thing? They feel like a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, who's really done all his development already, and he's really ready to step into a starting role. And now the fact that he's on the end of his contract, and the Patriots, even though I don't think they want to move him, they want to keep him around, I don't think he wants to be around because he wants a starting job. And Tom Brady is making it increasingly hard for the Patriots to move on, because even though he's 39 years old right now, it does not look like Brady's going to slow anytime soon. At minimum, it looks like he's going to play for another 2-3 years. And Jimmy Garoppolo just can't waste any years of his prime. He needs to get a starting job. So they might be forced to deal Jimmy Garoppolo. So now begs the real question, what's the price, and is Jimmy Garoppolo worth it? I'm going to address the second question first. Is Jimmy Garoppolo worth it? Absolutely. I am already sold on Jimmy Garoppolo. I saw what I needed to from him. I believe he's a big, strong quarterback. I believe he can make all the throws. I believe he has got good pocket presence, good mechanics. I like his throwing motion. I like everything about this kid. And of course, the fact that he's learned from the best, like I mentioned, only accentuates that point. So I think if you get Jimmy Garoppolo and just surround him with the right pieces, and I know that's easy to say but hard to do, but if you surround him with the right pieces, I believe he can be a franchise quarterback. And I believe right now, Deshaun Watson, big fan. Deshaun Kaiser, I think he can be good too. I think he can be a starter. Mitch Trubisky, he's kind of an unknown. All these guys are great, okay? But none of these guys, I believe, will be as good as Jimmy Garoppolo, at least right away, and in my opinion, at all. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than all of these guys probably will be. Maybe Deshaun Watson proves me wrong, but I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be very, very good. And that's the other thing, like I mentioned, I think developmental-wise, I think that he is ready to step into a starting role, and you have to let the rookies, if you draft a quarterback, let them develop. So that's the only problem. The Bears, who are done with Jay Cutler, they want to move on. They're looking for a quarterback to come in right away. They can give him the starting role. They don't have anyone to sort of mentor and wait behind. And Jimmy Garoppolo does not want to wait, so they can give him that starting role right away. Now comes the price. What's the price for Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, the Patriots are going to want to see if they can finesse a first-round pick out of some teams, but I think you can have him for a second-round pick. If I'm the Bears right now and the Patriots are ready to trade Jimmy Garoppolo for a couple of second-round picks, I'm doing it tonight. No questions asked. If they want a first-round pick, if they want that number 3 pick, I'm a little hesitant, but in the end, quarterback is the most important position in the NFL. It's the position that will set your franchise up 15 years, or it will set them back 15 years. And so really, if you really think Jimmy Garoppolo is worth it, I would even consider trading away that number 3 pick, though I would hesitate definitely a little bit. The ideal scenario here for the Bears would be to draft a guy like a Jonathan Allen at number 3, get Jimmy Garoppolo for a couple of second-round picks, and then go after a guy like, some guys in free agency, maybe shore up a secondary with an Eric Berry or something like that. So that would be the ideal scenario for the Chicago Bears. So in the end, I like it. I like this as a Bears fan. I'm glad Ryan Pace is going after Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's a real deal. I think he could be a franchise quarterback. Like I mentioned, you just need to surround him with the right pieces. But in terms of talent, requisite, and all of that, I think he checks the boxes. So I'm a big fan of this. I think the Bears have the requisite assets to make this move as well, as opposed to, I guess, certain teams that are also interested. I heard the Jets are also interested, but would Belichick trade him to a division rival? I heard the Browns are interested, the 49ers, and whatnot. So those are my thoughts. I think the Bears should absolutely go after Jimmy Garoppolo and try and see whatever you can do to get your hands on him. Let me know what you guys think. Is Jimmy Garoppolo worth it? Is he the real deal, or no, you're not sold on him? Leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.